Hello everyone, I'm back again for some more Smite, and today we're going to take a quick look at how penetration works in Smite. Now, penetration is a very important mechanic because it helps you deal a lot more damage, and, well, knowing how penetration is calculated will help you out even more in doing the damage with penetration. So, first off, we're going to take a look at this 4 ways that penetration is calculated. First one is percent reduction. It's going to be the very first thing calculated, and there's 3 items that have percent reduction in it. That's going to be Demonic Grip, Spear of the Magus, and Executioner. And then the next thing that is calculated is flat reduction, which is also going to be Demonic Grip, Spear of the Magus, and shockingly, Executioner. That is why these 3 items are very powerful and some of the best penetration items in the game. But also there's 2 other items that have flat reduction in it. That's Void Shield and Void Stone. Then we go to percent penetration. There's going to be 2 items for that. There's going to be Titan's Bane and Obsidian Shard. And then we have flat penetration, which is going to be all the other items on here that I have not gone over yet. So, what exactly does that mean? That means, say that if you had Executioner, Titan's Bane, and the Beat Stick on a god. Well, how this would work, you would take the percentage, you will reduce their protections by the percentage on Executioner first, which would be up to 24% with the 3 stacks. And then you would reduce their protections by another 18 from the flat reduction on Executioner. And then you would ignore 33% of the protection left over from the reduction from Executioner. And then you would ignore an extra 20 protections from Beat Stick. That's basically kind of how it works. But if you did that, that would be really bad, because there's a certain way that you do not want to build gods for penetration, and that is, you do not want to mix reductions with percent penetration. It's not good. So, if you go Executioner, this is also mostly just for physical gods. So I'll go over something else that I did in my Chronos video in a minute. So, for Executioner and Titan's Bane, I've seen people build this before. This is also something that was built in Season 1 of Smite for Hunters. And, well, now we all realize that it sucks because we did not know any better back then. So, Executioner, you're going to get that 24% protection reduction and then the extra 18. That's a pretty good bit of reduction. This is kind of the reason why Hunters only really need 1 penetration item, or mostly just any basic attack heavy god in general, mostly just 1 Executioner. This reduces their protections by a lot. Not quite as powerful against tanky gods, but it's still really good against tanky gods. This absolutely just destroys squishy gods for the most part. And Executioner is very good. It's very good against squishy gods, and it's still pretty good against tanky gods. I think we got Titan's Bane. So, say you're going against another hunter. You had Execution Titan's Bane. You reduced their protections. They don't have a whole lot of protections left. And then you come in with Titan's Bane. You're going to penetrate 33% of their protection they got left over. Well, if they're someone squishy like a hunter, they don't have that much penetration. They don't have that much protection left for you to penetrate. So Titan's Bane is pretty useless because you get, 30 extra power? That's not a lot. That's not a lot, but you could be having, I don't know, more crit, an oboe, Aussie. Those are all 4 more important. I mean, just take a look at Aussie. You get flat penetration from it, which is actually much better than percent penetration for to go along with Executioner, because they're going to have really low protections left, and you're just going to be able to ignore 15 of it, which is much better than 33%, because 33% is not going to be a whole lot of protection you're getting north. They don't have a whole lot of protection left. That's basically how that works. Now, in my Chronos video, I said I like to get Demonic Grip and Obsidian Shard. They kind of have the same interaction. Kind of. But the difference is, unlike a hunter, mages also have really powerful abilities. Not saying hunters don't. Hunters do have powerful abilities too. But Cronus is kind of different with how penetration works with him because of his abilities. His abilities hit really hard, and sometimes you just want to open up with your abilities and then start basic attacking, which is completely fine because if you don't basic attack them, then they're not going to have the protection reduction. So Obsidian Shard gets the full benefit, and it's pretty good. But the biggest thing, and the biggest reason why you want to get these two on Chronos is for his potential to destroy towers and objectives. He will melt through towers and phoenixes and stuff with Demonic Grip and Obsidian Shard. He's probably the best. He's probably the best guy in the game for doing that too. In all honesty, that's kind of the reason why I get those two on him, and that's kind of the exception, I think. But hey, in the end, it all works. This is the main two that you completely want to avoid getting at the same time. These two would also have the same effect, but there's not really ever a reason you would ever want to get Spear of the Magus and Obsidian Shard at the same time, just because of how they work. Because you really want to get Spear of the Magus for gods that have dots or super low cooldowns, Obsidian Shards for gods that have a bunch of high burst damaging abilities. So that's basically how penetration works. I'm not sure how helpful this will be or how well I put it, but I just wanted to get this out there because to really once you really understand how penetration works, it really helps a lot. And this is kind of what I've been saying about ability-based gods and why they want penetration. Because you're going to reduce. Usually, you want to get Titan's Bane and some other penetration items. You don't want to get Executioner, which is really good about penetration for ability-based gods like Bastet or gods like that. Because you're going to get 33% penetration on them, and then even more penetration from these items. And that's what's more powerful than getting just more power items like Transcendence. Because if you're going against a squishy god, and you got a bunch of penetration items, you'll be doing about true damage to them, which means they won't have any protections to protect them from your damage that you're doing. Which is nice. That's good. It's going to be a lot of damage. But then, it's all personal. You gotta pick the items that kind of fit your playstyle. There's also that too. I mean, there's a best way to do damage, but if it doesn't fit your playstyle, then it's just not gonna work for you. So that's basically how penetration works. I want to get a lot of penetration for ability-based gods. For basic attack gods, all you really need is Executioner or Demonic Grip. Although Demonic Grip and Spear of the Magus on someone like Ao Kuang or Freya is also very good. But I'll go to that once I get to those gods. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions or if I just was completely wrong about something. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day and have fun.